Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Health Horizon Show. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe wherever you are. I know it's been a week that has been chaotic and full of tension in our country, but I hope that wherever you are yourself, keep prioritizing your safety and keep taking care. And I thank God because He has preserved you and I, and He has made us remnants of this day. And I want to also thank our God because He has given us another opportunity to learn. Yes, this is the Health Horizon Show, and today we are talking about something so simple. And it is simple, but it is very powerful, and that is health checkups. Yeah, it is health checkups. So I want to start by asking, when was the last time you visited a doctor to check your body? Not because you are sick, not because you are in pain, not because you had some flu. You just decided that today I'm just going to go see a healthcare provider for some checkup. When was the last time? Yes, you who is watching me right now. And I know it's something that we don't take seriously. It is something simple, but it is something that is powerful. So if it's been a while since you went for a checkup, don't you worry, you're not alone. But again, I believe and I hope that by the end of this episode, by the time you're getting done, you'll have made up your mind to book your appointment and go and get checked. Go for a health checkup. Many people avoid checkups until they feel something is wrong. Let me start by saying that checkups are not for the sick people. Checkups are not for that person who is in pain. It is not for that person who is having some flu, who is coughing and all that. Checkup is for everybody. And you see, let me tell you something. When you think that not going for the checkups is good for you, I want to tell you that waiting until you're unwell is actually risky. You're supposed to be going for these checkups routinely. You're supposed to make up your mind that I will be going for health checkups. Okay? So what are checkups? A checkup is simply a routine medical exam. It is that visit that you pay to the healthcare providers even when you feel fine. We say that you don't really have to feel sick. You don't have to be in pain for you to go for a health checkup. Okay? And what is the purpose? What is the purpose of a health checkup? The purpose of health checkup is that it helps us catch potential problems early. It will help you monitor your health, and it will help you and it will guide you on how to stay well and to stay healthy. And some of these checkups, they are very simple, but they seem simple. They're not simple. They seem simple, but they are not really simple. They're very important tests. Something like going for blood pressure checkup. It is a very important checkup because high blood pressure is known to be a silent killer. And a silent killer, it is definitely just as it sounds. It's something that will kill you silently, because you might actually be feeling normal even when your heart is training. Your body will not shout to you that I'm having high blood pressure. And sometimes you might not feel the symptoms at first, but just because you don't have symptoms does not mean that you should not go for that checkup. So it is very important that you go get your blood pressure checked before it's too late. You see, there's a difference that is going to make between you going and getting diagnosed with it early and also when it has already escalated to something bigger, has given you heart problems and all that. So blood pressure checkup is one of the very important tests that we all need. Okay, something else is blood sugars. You need to go and make sure that your blood sugar is checked, because something like we have diabetes type 2, and you can have it for years without you having to know. You can have diabetes type 2 without feeling like you have diabetes. Like before even you feel symptoms, you can go for years without symptoms. But what happens when you have diabetes type 2? It can actually damage your nerves. It can damage your kidneys, damage your eyes, damage your heart, and all that. But now you see the beauty of getting an early diagnosis is that it's going to give you time, going to give you control, and we say that when you have control, you have power. Okay, so it's very important. It's very important to go for that checkup. It's very, 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 very important to go and get your blood sugars checked. Okay. Also, another very simple, okay, sounds simple, but it's not. Checkup or test is high cholesterol levels in your body. You can't feel it. There's no point you'll get and you feel like you have high cholesterol. It's silent. But you see, when high levels of cholesterol are not treated on, or when they are left untreated, they definitely cause you problems like stroke and heart attacks and all that. Okay, another checkup that you really need to take seriously is cancer screening. We have breast cancer screening, we have cervical cancer screening, prostate cancer screening. And the importance of you going for this kind of screening is you've had people who were diagnosed with cancer stage 4. Why? Because there are types of cancers where there are no, in the early stages of this cancer, these patients did not have symptoms. And that is to tell you that you don't need a symptom for you to go for that checkup. And especially nowadays, things are easy. For example, if you're a lady and you'd like to do a pap smear test, it is free in public hospitals, and you can just go for it. Okay, because you see, when we catch things early, we are able to look closely before symptoms appear. And at that point, we say that we can treat, we can reverse, and we can also cure. Okay. So why do people avoid checkups? So yourself, who is watching me right at this moment, why do you avoid checkups? So there are very many ways, many reasons why people avoid checkups. And number one reason is people fear diagnosis. People fear diagnosis, and people fear receiving bad news. And you find that you don't want to go for that checkup because you fear what will these people find. You see, so maybe you're scared of going to get your blood pressure checked because you're afraid. What if they find out that I have that high blood pressure? So fear of diagnosis, fear of receiving bad news. That's one of the reasons as to why people avoid checkups. The other reason as to why people avoid checkups is lack of symptoms, and that is very common because you won't go for a health checkup if you're not feeling pain and all that, because you believe that if I cannot feel it, it's not there, which is not actually true. So people avoid checkups because they don't have symptoms, and simply because the absence of symptoms does not guarantee that you're fine. Okay? So simply because you're not experiencing any symptom is not a good reason for you not to go for health checkup. The other reason is cost concerns. I understand that there are medical procedures that are costly. There are tests that are expensive. Yeah, I agree. But your health is worth more. Okay, you see that inconvenience visit that you'll pay to the healthcare provider, and maybe you're having a busy schedule, and you just decided that today I'm going for that checkup. Your body is far much worth. Okay. The other reason is time constraints. People are so busy with busy schedules and become so hard for you, unless, because actually even some people, even when they are sick, they won't go to the hospital. They won't seek for medical attention because they are not sick. Because they believe if there are no symptoms, then I'm fine, which is actually, we have said that it's not true. Okay, so time should not really be a reason. It is okay for you to say you're busy. It's okay to be busy. I always say that it's a good thing to be busy, because you see, now that job is what you are looking for. You see, being busy is a blessing, by the way, because someone else out there is actually wishing that they had a busy schedule, because maybe they've been idle for a long time. they don't have a job and all that. Being busy is a blessing, yeah, but it's also very important to know that your health is your power. Prioritize your health, okay? Even before your job, even before anything else, learn to prioritize your health. It is very important. Another reason as to why people avoid checkups is because of anxiety and phobia. I didn't know that adults could be having phobia of needles and phobia of lab coats. And you find a person it's a grown up, but they see someone with a white lab coat and they feel scared, especially in the hospital setup. And also needles. Someone is 30, you're taking a sample, and this person hata hujamdunga, but the fact that wameona hiyo sindano, goosebumps all over. Yeah, so anxiety and phobia. Kuna watu wako na phobia sindano, that I am not sick, so why should I go to the hospital and get pricked for them to take a sample? And you see, so it is very important that you try as much as you can and overcome that anxiety, overcome that phobia, because health checkups, they are very helpful. And yeah, so the other reason that that make people avoid health checkups is previous negative experiences. This is where now maybe you've ever had a traumatic and an unpleasant experience. For example, you once went for a health checkup. You were feeling fine. Nothing was wrong with you. You were not feeling like you needed health attention, medical attention, yeah. But now you went for that checkup willingly, and now the doctor told you that now we have seen that you have blood pressure. So I understand that at that moment you start regretting. Hata ilisingeenda husi, sasa nimeenda wameniambia niko na pressure. You see, okay, that's a negative experience, and it's traumatic, I agree. But now you're supposed actually to be thankful that you were diagnosed with that high blood pressure that time, because that would mean if it went undiagnosed, it could have probably brought you even worse and adverse complications. Yeah, so people fail to go for health checkups because they have previous traumatic experiences. You went for a health checkup one time, they told you that you have diabetes, and now you think about going for another checkup, and you're like, hey, leo naeza enda waniambia niko na stroke. You see. Yeah, so traumatic and unpleasant experiences of the past are it's actually understandable, yeah. But I want to tell us that it is very important. Overcome that fear. So whether you went to the hospital, they told you that you have high blood pressure, and now you think, every time you think about going for another checkup, you're afraid. Naeza enda sasa waniambie tena niko na diabetes, naeza enda sasa tena waniambie niko na stroke. So just choose not to. But I believe by the end of this episode you'll have made up your mind, because you're going to dive in deeper on the importance of these health talks and all that. Another reason as to why people avoid health checkups is culture and societal factors. There are people who believe that you don't need medicine. You just use the herbals and all that. I understand. And there are also people who believe that they don't need medication because maybe you're a Christian. I have ever encountered a person who was battling with mental disorder, and her brother was insisting that, oh, you have to see a psychologist, you have to see a psychiatrist. And this girl was saying like, no, I'm fine, I'm going to pray about it. It's okay, you can pray about it, but sometimes it's very important for you to reason out. Yeah, so these culture and societal factors, they make people not to seek or not to go for health checkups. So it is very important to pray about it, I agree. But it's also very important also to embrace science as well, because these people are there for you. The wisdom that they have is God given, and they are definitely there for you. Yeah. So Yeah, so the other reason as to why people avoid health checkups is lack of awareness. Lack of awareness, which is actually one of the major reasons. I believe that for you who is watching me right now, you've not gone for that health checkup because you're not aware, or because you've not been made aware of what is a health checkup, what does it entail, what is the importance, how do I prepare for one. Yeah, so many people avoid health checkups because they lack awareness. And that is actually why we are having today's episode, to create awareness and to understand what are health checkups and what are the benefits. How do I prepare for a health checkup? How do I overcome that fear of going for a health checkup? So facing the unknown feels scary, yeah, but finding the problem early gives you option. It gives you control, and as I said earlier, when you have control, we can say that you have power. When you have control, you have power. So what are some of the benefits of having of going for health checkups? What are the benefits? Number one benefit of a health checkup is that it will help us in early detection and prevention. Because if you've come and we have seen that maybe we have run some tests and they're not normal, they're not within normal range, even before we wait for the symptoms, we will take action. So we are going to prevent long term, we are going to prevent the situation from worsening or getting worse. So one benefit of health checkup is that it helps us in early detection and also prevention, because early detection saves life. Early detection saves life because paint this picture in your mind where a person has been diagnosed with stage 1 cancer and the other person has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So the life expectancy for that person who has been diagnosed with stage 1 is actually increased. Lakini sasa if you get diagnosed when it's stage 4, there's nothing much you can do. So we are saying that when you go for that health checkup and we are able to detect early, able to detect your condition early, then we are able to save your life, okay? Because if you have an issue with blood pressure, your blood pressure levels are high, and we get to diagnose it early, we can actually manage it. Sometimes you don't even have to go medical. For example, when you diagnose with high blood sugars and it's not that severe, maybe it's just mild, we can do some modifications of diet and all that. You don't have to start with medication. So that way you'll have saved that situation from getting out of hand and getting worse. Now I hope that you're getting. Also, another benefit of going for health checkup is that they save on costs. Assume that this person who has come for health checkup, we have noticed that their blood pressure is high, or maybe their blood sugars are high, but not very high, not very severe, not even moderate, it's just mild. And you know that these medications are very expensive. So when we detect it early, we are going to help you modify your diet. You're going to help you modify a lot. So you're definitely not going to get to that point of taking medications for a lifetime. There are definitely the things that you can do to prevent it from getting worse, okay? So it's going to save on costs. Because you realize that there are actually illnesses where once you're diagnosed with it, we can actually manage with medications, yeah. But now if now it has gotten to a place of complication, others now will require surgery. So you realize that if you came and we detected your problem earlier, we could have managed it and it couldn't have gotten to a point of needing a surgery. So if we detect it early, it's going to definitely save on costs, okay? Definitely going to save on costs. Another benefit is improved health outcomes. People who go for checkups, by the way, their health outcomes turns out to be better than someone who doesn't go for checkups, okay? It's also going to give you peace of mind. You guys, it is very reassuring to know that you are on the right track. It is very reassuring. You see, you come for checkup, we run tests, we take samples, we run these tests, we do several investigations, and at the end of it you realize that you're good. It is very peaceful and reassuring to know that you are on the right track. Something else, a benefit of seeking or going for a health checkup is that you get to get personalized care. Because if you come to the hospital because you're sick, and maybe it's bad, we don't even have time to do some other tests that are different from what is ailing you. For example, if you come to the hospital with a flu, or maybe with a respiratory issue, we might not get into details to get to know about your GIT, that is your gastrointestinal tract. We might not get to run tests for your urine and all that, because you came sick. And sometimes even for us, the queue is too long. We just want to treat what brought you to the hospital and get done. But for that other person who came specifically, this person came and they say that I want a health checkup, this person will get the best and he'll get personalized care. This is where we're going to give this person detailed care, because we're going to start with physical examination. We are going to go to the respiratory system. How is it? How is the cardiovascular? How is the GIT? How is your urinary system? How is your musculoskeletal system? That is your bones and all that. Yeah, so you get very individualized care when you come for checkups. So regular checkup, it is not about looking for sickness. You're not coming for that checkup because you want to look whether you have sickness. You're coming for that checkup because you want to protect your future. Because if we detect something early, it's going to protect your future in so many ways. You see, if you have an illness that costs you a lot of money, that is likely to cost you a lot of money in future, you're going to help you with that. So you're going to protect your finances, you're going to protect your time, you're also going to protect your family. Because let me tell you, these illnesses that gets people, and they are very draining financially. They won't only affect you, they will affect your family, they'll affect the people around you, the people you love, and all that. So what happens in a health checkup depends on your age. The kind of tests that are run depends on your age. For example, a person who is between 20 to 30 years, you go checked for your blood pressure, go checked for your BMI. Don't be excited by every time you add weight, especially for these people who have been slim for a long time. You add some weight and you're very excited and you actually want to maintain it, not knowing maybe that your BMI could be high. So it's very important. Coming for checkup for your BMI sounds very simple, but it's something very crucial. Come, let us check your weight, let us check your height, let us calculate your BMI. Yeah, because now if you have too much weight, you have obesity, you're exposed to things like diabetes, you're exposed to things like hypertension and all that. So it is very important. It is very, very, very important for you to go for these checkups. Very important for you to come for your sexual health screening, for pap smear for ladies, mental health check-ins. It is very, very important. When you're between 40 and 50, it is very important to go get your cholesterol levels checked, your blood sugar, mammogram, and all that. Let me not get into details today. For a person who is 60 and above, it is very important for you to go and get checked concerning your bone density. Go for the bone density scans. Go get your bones checked. Very important for you to go get checked. Let your heart get checked. Continued cancer screening. There are cancers that are associated with age, and the older you get, the predisposed you become. Okay, so it is very important to go get checked, and once you go get checked, we have said that you're protecting your future. So something like high blood pressure, we say it is a silent killer. So just because you don't have symptoms, it's not a sign that you are perfectly fine. Something like high cholesterol will give you heart problems, so it is very important. That tells you how important it is. Diabetes could damage your organs quietly without having to shout to you that I am damaging your organs. Kidneys, kidney issues, you can go get your urine checked through blood tests, urine samples, and all that. And remember that prevention is better than cure. Yeah, prevention is always better than cure. So let us normalize health checkups. And going for that health checkup is not a sign of weakness. It is not inviting bad news. It is not something to fear, by the way. It is something that you need, and it is a sign of strength. And every time you come for that checkup, it is a sign and it's a declaration that you're making that I care about my future. I care about my future. I care about my health. I am prioritizing my health and all that. Every time you're going for that checkup, it means that you have chosen to be informed, you have chosen to be empowered, and you have chosen to be proactive. For example, we have normalized taking care of our cars, taking them for services. But when do you take your car for servicing? You don't take your car for servicing when the engine breaks or when your car has an issue. You take it because you want everything to be running smoothly, and that is actually how you're supposed to treat your body. You don't take your body for checkup because something is wrong. You don't take your body for checkup because it is in pain. You take your body for checkup to ensure that everything is running smoothly. So we put it off about our bodies. We just put it off until we feel something is wrong, and that has to change. That has to change. And I believe and I hope that by the end of this episode, you'll have made up your mind, right? Yeah, so make your health checkup a habit and make it a lifestyle. You see, the way you have normalized celebrating your birthday every year, the way you have normalized filing your KRA returns, please put it on your calendar. Even if it is once in a year, go and get a health checkup, okay? And sometimes I understand because of now the reasons that I gave. You fear bad news, you have the anxiety and the phobia of being in a hospital setup, the needles and all that. Go with a friend, go with a spouse, go with a sibling, go with a bestie, because accountability actually works. Accountability works. So if you're afraid to go about it alone, you can just have your friend go with you. You can have your sibling go with you. You can have your friend, just anyone. And also start small. If you've never gone for a health checkup and you're not even, you see, so I'm trying to say that if you've never gone for a health checkup for years, just start by booking a physical exam. Start small. Start from where you are. Start by booking a physical exam. Book an appointment with a healthcare provider. Yeah, stop googling everything that you feel. Stop googling about everything. By the way, if Google was a doctor, then akungekuwa na medical schools, because now we have normalized googling every symptom and everything. Yeah, so start small. Start by booking a basic physical exam. Yeah. So health does not happen by accident. It is something that is built. It is something that is built and built by just one small habit at a time. Okay, so how do you prepare for a health checkup? You cannot go for a checkup if you don't understand the importance of a health checkup. And we said it is going to help us catch early symptoms, and we are going to give us time. It's going to give us control, and we said when we have control, we have power. So going for a checkup, preparing for a checkup will help you get the most out of it. And how do you prepare for a checkup? If you've been experiencing some symptoms, it's very important that you note these symptoms down, and note down every question you have, because I believe and I know that some people, you could be you have planned to go for that checkup, yes, but you're afraid. Yeah, it happens, you're afraid. so you forget about everything that you had planned to do. Yeah, so write down those questions, no matter how small they are, and that is going to help you to make the most out of that visit. Okay, it is very important also for you to list all the medication and the supplements that you've been using. That is going to help the person who is doing a checkup on you to get a detailed information and know how to help you, know where to come through, what to do when, and all that. It's also very important that you give and share your family history, because giving us a history, especially of your family, it helps us to assess risks. For example, if you come and tell us that in our family people are battling diabetes, people are battling this and that, to give us a clue. So if we see your blood pressure elevated, we'll have a clue and we'll know that you are also at risk of getting it. And sometimes you might actually come to the hospital, give us the family history, that in our family there is diabetes, in our family there is hypertension and all that. And when you do these tests, everything about you and everything about these tests tend to lie within normal range. What happens is you're going to guide you on how to prevent it from happening. So we say that you're not coming to look for sickness. You're coming to protect your future. Because about sharing your family history, we understand that we have genetic illnesses, genetic diseases, that you find that a disease or an illness runs through the family. Either in this family there's diabetes, so every person at the age of 50, at the age of 60s, every person is battling the same. Very important for you to share your family history, your medical family history. It's going to give us a clue. It's going to help us assess what are you predisposed to. Okay, also it's very important for you to be honest about your habits, your diet, your exercise. If you smoke, tell us, because now if you see some abnormal results, you'd like to know why, because when we know the cause, it's very easy to manage something that what has caused it. Yeah, so when you're coming for that checkup, make sure that you're open about your habits, about your diet, about your exercise, stress, alcohol, smoking, and all that. It helps us to know where you're coming from, and also helps us to know where to start from. Okay, yeah, so remember that healthcare providers are not there to judge you. They're there to help you. And a simple health checkup could make a big difference for you or for someone that you love. So I'm encouraging you that you make up your mind to go for that health checkup. Might not be you, but someone you love. Okay, so there are some myths that people do have that I would like to address. People say that I don't need checkup because I'm still young. I don't need checkup. I'm only 20. I'm only 25. I'm only 30. I can't have high blood pressure. I can't have diabetes because I'm actually very young. But illnesses doesn't wait for age. There are young people who are suffering or who are battling diabetes. There are young people who are battling cancer. There are young people who are battling fibroids. Because for a person who is in their mid-20s, and you see people associate fibroids with conceiving late. But I have seen someone who got fibroids at the age of 24. So you don't go for... So I'm trying to say that illnesses don't wait for age. So simply because you're young does not rule you out that now you won't come for health checkup because you feel you're still young. There's no way you can be having high blood pressure. People are battling high blood pressure even at the age of 20s. It doesn't wait for age. Okay. Also another myth that people do have is, if something is wrong, I will feel it. That's a lie. That is a lie. Because even for people who have, it's very possible for you to have high blood pressure and not feel anything. That is why it's called a silent killer. That is why you find someone was diagnosed with high blood pressure. They have not been taking their medication. And one day they just slept and they never woke up. Those are some of the cases that we find we come across. someone has been battling hypertension, but they have not been adhering to their medication. So simply because they didn't feel anything, so you feel like, I am not feeling it, so I'm not going to take those meds. So people believe that if there is something wrong about me, then I will be feeling it, and that is a very big lie. So someone slept well, they wished their loved one good night, but in the morning they never woke up, because as we said, hypertension is a silent killer. Yeah, so it is not simply because you have no symptom does not mean that you're fine, does not guarantee you that you are fine. Okay, checkups are expensive, yeah, but early, some checkups, not all, because now sometimes you run tests that are a bit expensive. But let me tell you something, that early treatment is cheaper. Early treatment is cheaper than emergency care or advanced, or in the case of an advanced disease, because you're going to spend your money to come for that checkup, and maybe you're going to detect that issue early. It won't be as expensive as it would have been if that disease has advanced, or it has gotten you to a point that you need emergency care. Okay, so your life is worth more, your health is worth more than that inconvenience. The inconvenience worth more than that, the inconvenience of one visit. Yeah, so here's my challenge for you today. If you haven't had a full checkup in the past 1 year, it is very important that you book a checkup this month. It is very important. Yeah, I believe by now you understand the importance, and I also believe that there are questions that you had that now you have a better approach. So talk to a friend if you need one who can maybe help you and just go get checked, and also encourage someone to go for a health checkup. Encourage someone to go for a health checkup, because it's very important for you to know your numbers. It's very important for you to know the ranges of your blood pressure. It's very important for you to know the ranges of your blood sugar, the cholesterol. Very important for you to know about the BMI. Don't be so focused on adding your weight without having to care, or without being concerned about your BMI. So go get your height and your weight checked. Let them measure your BMI. Okay, so you don't have to wait until you're sick. You don't have to wait until you feel pain. All you have to do is prioritize your health, because waiting until you're sick and waiting until you're in pain is actually what puts you at risk. That is actually what puts you at risk. So go get checked. We have said that early detection will save you from a lot. Yeah, and so that brings us to the end of our episode today in the Health Horizon Show. And thank you for joining me. I hope this conversation has inspired you to take that step, to get that health checkup, to stay informed, and to treat your health as a priority, and to treat your health as a treasure it is. So don't wait for symptoms. Don't wait for fear. Be prepared, be informed, be proactive. Okay? So until next time, I'm Carol, and remember, you don't need to be sick for you to go for that health checkup. Remember that your health is your power. Stay healthy, stay safe. I'll see you next Thursday right here on the Health Horizon Show. Thank you.